Hello, guys and gals, and everyone who you are, whoever you are. You know, people ask me why I wear these headphones. Actually, nobody's asked me. But the reason why I wear these headphones, you ask me in your mind. It's a psychic thing. I can feel you. And they ask me in their minds, why in the world does he wear headphones when he does a YouTube video? No, it's a radio thing. Actually, you can hear the sound in the headphones better with the mic, and you can tell what level it's at. Unlike when I don't have the headphones on and I can't hear myself talk, I'm yelling, and my voice is very different. So it actually helps to wear the headphones. That's why sometimes I wear them. Most of the time I do. So that's why it makes it a radio thing. So anyway, getting to the subject, I wanted to talk about something that is very personal to me, and I haven't been on in a while because it was one of the subjects I wanted to talk about. And for me, it's one of the hardest things to talk about. There's a lot of things I refuse to talk about, and this is one of them. So it took me a while thinking about it night after night, how I want to really describe it and say it. So excuse me if it's very emotional, but it's important to me. So we got that up, and showing you a trailer of something too. So that's coming up. Stick around.
And now we interrupt, disrupt, and crash this station. The man fighting for peace, his legacy, truth in a sea of stupid. Filtered for your sarcastic enjoyment, Ghostgetter.
Okay, sorry I had to take my glasses off because it's a little too close for comfort. Anyway, there is a documentary I wanted to show you of a movie documentary I seen a few years ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm going to explain something to you, which is usually why I'm not on here very often. But this is a pretty interesting documentary, and a lot of people say, well, this stuff ain't real. A lot of news media tried to attack it and say it wasn't real. Some of them said it was, but I think it is, because I know for a fact, watching some of the body language and seeing somehow some of the people in these videos and how they react and things that were going on. Oh, it is real. I know it for sure. So watch this trailer, and then I'm going to tell you a little story come afterwards.
The last couple of days, we had heard that Tyler had his head shoved into a wall locker. They said he's a geek.
My concern is that you were making someone feel so uncomfortable that they didn't want to be in school.
I feel kind of nervous going to school because I like learning, but I have trouble with making friends.
They said he's a geek. Some kids had told him that he's worthless, to go hang himself. And I think he got to the point where enough was enough.
Tonight, a tragic situation.
A Perkins boy, just 11 years old, believed to have been desperate enough to take his own life.
This is an awfully complicated and difficult issue.
Kids will be kids, boys will be boys. They're just cruel at this age.
Here, what we get is nothing's wrong. We didn't do anything. Everything's fine.
They punch me, strangle me, take things from me, sit on me.
Give it to him hard!
He's not safe on that bus.
I've been on that bus. They are just as good as gold.
My voice is not going to fall silent. I will go to my grave until a difference is made.
We reached out to parents that have lost kids, parents of kids that are being bullied all over the world, and it took off like wildfire.
All it takes is for one person to stand up.
Be the difference. Go out and find that one child, that new kid standing over there by himself. Be willing to stand up for him.
Everything starts with one and builds up. eventually we have an army.
If we all do it together, we will change the world.
The trailer is a little long, I know, but I apologize for that. I saw this 4 or 5 years ago, and I couldn't help but think that the kid in the glasses was me. Everything that he went through in this documentary, and what probably hit me the hardest in watching this documentary when he was, well, I don't think they show it in the trailer. I seen it once and I refused to see it again. Was probably the part where he was walking on the playground and he was by himself when everybody else was ignoring him. And I thought to myself, it hit too close to home for me a few years ago, and I couldn't watch it anymore after that. I mean, I watched it, but I couldn't watch it again. So, and it was in the back of my mind, and I kind of put it away because the past, it's a past, and all that stuff. But it also made me angry. That documentary made me angry because these things that were going on, there was nothing being done about it, and blah, blah, blah. To see what he was going through made me angry. And because I went through the same thing. I've seen, the reason I think it was real was because I seen the same. It was almost like watching a video of the past. Instead of him, it was me on the playground. I went through my entire young childhood life going through this up until high school. And probably, well, I would say it stopped in junior high, but people have tried it in high school, but it failed because I, got tired of it. Anyway, a few months ago, and the reason I'm bringing this up now is because I had a job in an area here in Dallas where there is somebody in particular I know that I went to the same high school with. And I wasn't in the neighborhood where they lived per se, but I was in the area, in the same town. And what I was afraid of was when I was going to be assigned to their neighborhood, and I would have to deliver to their house. And I'm not sure how I'd react to this person if I met them again face to face. I know as an adult I would handle it probably more professionally, but emotionally and on the inside I would probably be a wreck because, well, let me give you a backstory of what happened. I was dealing with a lot when I was in Ohio. I moved here even though I finally, when I was 15 years old, my life began to change, and I started to make friends and this and that, and things started to change for the better. It wasn't great, but it started to change for the better. So I was pretty much picked up from all of this out of nowhere and moved without warning to a small town in Texas where you're not accepted if you're from up north. You're not accepted if you aren't this way. You're not accepted if you aren't that way. I mean, there's a whole lot of variables that go into this. So I was walking into a foreign land, wearing foreign clothes, listening to foreign music, to all of them. I was totally different than any other person. So I had nobody to back me up. I had nobody on my side. I was doing it by myself. Parents weren't involved. Family members, the rest of the family members weren't involved. I had no one except the people that I could talk to that lived in Ohio that I was friends with. And back in the 80s, there was just letters. And you know how long that took. So, and phone calls would cost you a fortune. So I was dealing with basically nothing out of nowhere. And I was already at the top of my, at a boiling point before all this ended, and the bullying was just over the top. I was already at the boiling point. I don't think I could have handled it any more than what I did, but moving made it worse. I was probably the most hated in junior high. I didn't know anybody. I mean, there was even one point where I was walking around, nothing to do, with the radio in my hand, no one to talk to, just walking around the neighborhood, if you call it a neighborhood. I mean, it's a small town, country thing. And, it's not the same as being in a big city. So I was walking around with constantly in the same areas with the radio in my hand. At one point, one of the police sheriffs, two sheriffs get out of the car and start, here I am, 15 years old, and I'm being accused of being a kidnapper. People in the neighborhood saying that they're afraid I was going to steal their children, and I'm 15 years old. Skinny, 15, weighed what? Not even 100 pounds. Radio in my hand. Only reason is because I was different from out of town, so they called the police and told me this. So they basically told me I didn't belong there, even though I lived in that neighborhood. So that was an embarrassment, and already, one of those things, long story. I'll be writing about that. But anyway, I finally met this female, this girl. I didn't even think about her as anything more than a friend. I needed somebody back then to be a friend with, someone to talk to, someone to basically back me up. Just have someone there. But I've talked to this person probably for about a month or two. But I didn't realize I was being tricked. I didn't realize I was being set up. And one day, which I've never told anyone about this till recently. One day I call her up, and out of the blue, she sets me up and says, "Why do you call me?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "Why did you call me?" And I said, "Well, because I thought we were friends and we've been talking and blah, 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 blah." Mind you, I wasn't expecting anything out of them. Just to be friends with them. And she just crushed me. She told me, I can't remember what the whole conversation was. Everything she said, but all I know is she said, "I don't like it when you call me because you're a geek, you're a nerd, and you're a loser." And she called me every name in the book, and I don't want you calling me again because you're a loser and blah, 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 blah. And she hung up on me. I was set up. That may not seem like much to people or to the person here listening or watching, but that was probably the worst feeling that I've had in a long time, and it crushed me. Not because of them, not because of her personally, because of how she did it. It was probably worse than being punched or kicked or anything a person can do that's bullying somebody, which is what she did. And I can't explain how I felt, but it did a lot of damage, more damage than you can possibly imagine. What I didn't realize until recently, how much damage it did. When I look back at it, and I look back at those years in high school, I never thought until recently how negative it made me become, how bad it turned me. And I blame no one but myself because I let it happen. I became angry. I became negative constantly. I was down on everything I could possibly imagine about myself. I was very, very insecure, and I had no trust in anyone. I've constantly expected to be tricked again, especially with any female that I've spoken to, or any date that I possibly would have been on. I had one girlfriend for a month at that time, and it didn't work out. I would say probably because of me, but I had no trust in anything. And when I started partying as a teenager and doing this and doing that and started drinking with them, I felt like beer wasn't enough, so I started to turn to the harder alcohol. Southern Comfort was my comfort. That was the thing that I had quite often. And they thought it was more partying and having fun, the people I was with that I finally made friends with. But that's a whole long story behind that background. But it was one of those things where it actually made me feel better when it's not supposed to. It was actually a go-to thing when it really wasn't. It shouldn't have been. It didn't. It may have cured the thinking, the thought in my mind that was constantly there of what had happened. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any excuse for this, and I'm not making any whatsoever. I'm just telling you these are the things that have happened. And this has a lot to do with gang stalking. And this has a lot to do with the gang stalking videos that I've been posting. But it was one of those things where, it didn't cure it. It didn't cure the negativity, and it didn't cure the weakness that I had, the insecurity, but it sure did help. But it wasn't smart. And, binge drinking, which was one of the things that I've done more than anything. It wasn't alcoholism. It was binge drinking, which is worse in some ways because it can kill you faster. So it was one of those things where I never told anyone. I refused to. And thank you, and thanks to two people that were best friends of mine, brought me up as changing me to teaching me to be tougher, to be more respectful, and to be more confident in myself without it. Showing me and that's another long backstory, which I'm writing about. Thanks to them, they helped quite a bit, and you'll be surprised. They will be surprised how much good they've done in my life. But I never really thought that it made any connection whatsoever to anything that happened that one moment in time until recently, when I was afraid I was going to be assigned to be on that street where I didn't want to be. And it got to the point where I was afraid I was going to wind up there or some job of hers or something. I was afraid of that, and I was avoiding it, and I was hoping not to the point where I was reading every name on the package, which I never do. But I realized I never thought that it created that much of an impact. And I think the reason was because there's another story that was a part of it that was connected to it, that did happen as well. It's kind of a revenge thing that happened with this same person that I regret doing. It was more of regret not doing than doing anything to. When I saw them in trouble, I refused to help them. That kind of thing. which I ran into them again later in later years. And, you know, that's a long story, and that didn't work out either. But anyway, babbling. But after that, and it led to this long story of me collapsing and becoming homeless and all this stuff that happened to me, and fighting it and getting back on my feet and becoming a better person and a stronger person, more confident person, and one that's very determined, persistent, and never giving up, and all that stuff. When I finally got over that and gotten off the street from being homeless and all this other stuff, I had someone doing basically almost the exact same thing to me. Again, I was told by someone else in a nice way, basically the same thing she told me, which to me was thinking, okay, listen, at least it was a little more respectful. It wasn't something that was kicking me in the seat of my pants. But then I started getting taunted by this person, breaking in my house more than once, stealing things that only belonged, that were given to me by this person, being followed, being called at work, having my cards vandalized, you name it. I've said stories on here time and time again, almost being run off the road. You know, and there are witnesses to this. But anyway, that's why I did the gang stalking videos, because I wanted people to see that this can happen to you, and how to beat it, and how to fight it, and how to not put up with it. So it was a long road of recovering and changing my life, becoming a better person. I joined hockey leagues for 10 years because it wasn't to win a championship. It was for them, the rest of the team, and for myself. But in my personal heart and mind, the whole purpose of winning was to defeat all this in the past. Defeat what you see in the documentary. Defeat all that I went through. To overcome that, to win it, and to finally end it. And, you know, it's hard to explain, but it was huge. To finally win that trophy, and it was seeing all those people in the stands in the past, and seeing all those people I defeated in the past, and you know, it was just like that. It was probably one of the sweetest moments in my life. But anyway, since that time, I don't get defeated by anybody. I don't let a job take me down. I don't let a person take me down. And if there is a point where I'm going to lose, I get back up and keep going. At one point on a job, I broke both my tibias and my legs, and I still kept going when I wasn't supposed to. I've had heat exhaustion, and I kept going when I wasn't supposed to. I've worked very sick, and I kept going when I wasn't supposed to. Went through car accidents and concussions, and I kept going when I wasn't supposed to. I've had a lot of body damage, and as I get older, I'm starting to slowly break down, and I'm getting tired. And I felt like for the last 20-something years, I've been fighting, and I'm tired of fighting, and I'm getting more and more tired, and I don't want to fight. I just want to live. I've been spending more time over the last 20 years surviving more than living, trying to be first rather than, you know, just accept what place you're in. Because with me, it's either first or nothing. I don't want to lose. I don't want to be last place, and I definitely am not going to be a loser, and I definitely ain't going to be in the position I was before. So, it's a tough road. Now, I know there is, when it comes to the person that's, gang stalking, if you want to call it, I know the reason I do these videos, and I'm sorry it takes so long for you to read what I'm saying or to listen to what I'm saying, but the whole purpose of me doing all this is to teach you what not to do and what to do. I don't want to see people being tricked. I don't want people to want to see people being manipulated, fooled, or lied to, or being taken for their money, or being taken advantage of because they think they're more ignorant than they are, or, I'm smarter than you, so I can con you, things like that. I don't go after Bob Larson because I hate the man. I don't go after Bob Larson because I hate his people. I have a gift for knowing when someone, how they truly are on the inside. They say, you think you can fool God by saying things and acting a certain way and being a certain way, but God knows your heart and he knows how you really are. I'm that same way. A person can come up to me and be a certain character, but I know how they really are on the inside. I know how their heart is. I know how they really, really are. I know how they really, really feel. I may not read their mind, but I know what they're thinking pretty much. So I know their heart. And I understand them. So a person like this particular gang stalker, if you can call him a gang stalker, it's more like, I got a few people I want them to stalk for me. I know this person hates my guts. I know this person hates me more than anything in the world. Now, on the outside, they can be like, oh, I'm very forgiving and I'm a nice person and, I would never do that. And, I love the world and I love everything and I'm just a lover of love and blah, blah, blah. But I know on the inside how you really are. And I know on the inside you don't like me. I know you hate me like a passion. This person wished me dead at one point. This person wished I would get hit by a car and said they hated me more than anything and they wished I was dead. And you know what it's like when somebody wishes you dead? It's not a good feeling. It's something that never leaves you. It's something that never goes away. So I know how this person on the inside really, really feels about me. And you're going to get your wish one day, because I'm sure you're wishing for it all the time inside, although you don't tell anybody you're wishing for it. And you're going to get your wish one day, maybe sooner than you think. And, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to just, jump off a cliff, although you wish I would. And there's nothing I can do about that, and I'm sorry you feel that way. But I know. I tried to be like that. I tried to be, and I get on these videos and I say I hate them, and I don't like them, and I can't stand them. I thought about that over time, what I was saying at the beginning of this video about how I sat around and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? How a person's heart really is. I can't be that way. I can't be hateful. I can't hate. I don't know. I'm just not that person. So I'm looking inside myself, and I looked inside how I really feel about this person, and I'm not like them. I can't hate someone. I don't know them anymore. But I will, how I really, really feel on the inside, I'm going to keep that to myself. But I tell you, I don't hate them. I can't. I tried, and it's not me. And there are a few people out there that are like that with me, that don't really like me that well, and that's fine. There are definitely people from Bob Larson's crew that probably don't like me now, and I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm not here to make trouble. I'm just here to help people out there, showing you things that I can see that maybe you can't see. And I've been doing that with my shows for the last 10, 11 years. Is I can see things others can't see. I can see what a person really means on the inside. I can't be the ghost hunting crew. I'm not a kind of person that shows off the people I know, and you know, because I've met a lot of people in this field, in the ghost hunting field. I've known and spoken to a lot of people that everybody supposedly knows, and I could have been in that position, and probably would have been on TV, but I can't do that because I got to be honest with myself, and I can't lie, and I can't be one of those people that you know, once you know the truth, you can't untruth it. You can't unthink it. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, that's why I get on here and tell people things that are going on, because I want people to see what I can see you can't see. I'm just babbling now, but that's the whole purpose of me being on here. I want to show you things that maybe you don't see. That's why I do the videos I do, because I've been noticing stuff that is not being mentioned. And the funny thing is, a lot of times over the years, from my radio shows and things that I've talked about, have been stolen. And there have been proof of this over the years, of different people taking things that belong to me. I won't mention any names, but there are quite a few people here in Dallas radio that have done it, and a lot of people on TV that have done it, because I've seen them spying in my chat rooms when I've done shows, and I've seen people in the chat rooms in cities with hidden names, and these people that are in the cities like Las Vegas, TV shows are in Las Vegas, and that's where they live. Anyway, I won't mention any names, but you know who I'm talking about. But I can't join those groups because I'm an honest person when it comes to that stuff, and I can't lie and make things up like they do. Even though they know the truth, they'll tell you the wrong story anyway. But go back and listen to my shows. You'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's why I get on here and I'm telling you the things that I'm telling you, because I got tricked in my life. I went through it all when I was younger. I should have seen things coming like this person did to me when I was 15, 16 years old. I should have seen it coming, and I didn't. I got fooled, and I didn't see it, and I promised I wouldn't do it again. I promised I wouldn't allow that to happen again. And so far I haven't had it happen, although I'm not saying it won't. I should be more of a trusting person, and I'm not. But you know, I'm trying to help the people out there, making sure that this will not happen to you personally. That's the only reason I do it, is trying to help others. Because I know that there are a lot of people out there being bullied, even as adults, that are being bullied and should be treated better than what they're being treated. And I just can't be the hateful type. I don't know how. I'm angry sometimes, and I may get an attitude. I'm not perfect. But as far as being hateful, I can't do it. I just can't, because that's not me. That's not the real me. It's just not me. I looked inside myself and I said, you know what? That doesn't sound like something I would normally say. So, they can hate me all they want. That's their choice. But I know they can say whatever they say, but I know for a fact they do. I can just smell it. And I know they still watch. I see it. I can tell. I like I said, I know things. But anyway, that's why I do the videos I do, and that's why I want to help people. And I may not do very many more gang stalking videos, if any at all, because, that's something that I should just put away, because it's taking away the things I need to do. It's taking away the expose videos. It's taking away the shows I need to talk about, things that are important that help others. I need to do more of that, and I've been falling away from it because I've been too focused on doing things that, I want more of these gang stalking videos. And if you have any questions, I can definitely give you answers if you need help. But, and I thought about a lot of things I wanted to say, and it's very hard for me to say it. It's very hard for me to talk about the bullying. It's very hard to tell you about the things that I went through. It's just not an easy road to travel. So after dealing with that over the last few months or so, and remembering the documentary and things, and which I never finally, after being put in that area of the job, I got taken back out of that area, so I'm no longer there. So I didn't run into them personally. I had a feeling I was going to be pushed and run into them personally, because there are things in this world that attack me, and there are things in this world that protect me. And I had a feeling like I was going to have to face the inevitable, but I didn't. And I think maybe the reason I didn't face it, because I would have handled it better, so there was no point. And I probably would have handled it in a better way, because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm older now. Why does this bother me? And maybe they're not like that anymore. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I somehow doubt it, but maybe they're not like that. Who knows? But yeah, I'm glad that I didn't go through that, but I don't think I would have I don't think it would have turned out as bad as I thought it would. And so you don't have to put up with that either. And you don't have to tolerate what people tell you. And you don't have to put up with people pushing you around or trying to put a step on you to get ahead. You don't have to put up with that. You don't have to change to be somebody else, because I've done that. I've tried to make stuff up, make stories up, make a character up that isn't who I am. And these days I'm glad I'm older now, because anytime somebody just, doesn't like the way I look, or looks at me funny, or doesn't like who I am, or doesn't appreciate the kind of person I am or my character or whatever, I'm at that age where, like, well, I don't care what you think about me. It doesn't matter. Because in the end, I'm going home, and you're not going to be in my life, so what does it matter if you are or you ain't? If you're there, fine. If you're not, fine. But who really cares anymore? I'm not a teenager, and this ain't high school, so why still make it that? So I don't have to be somebody else to impress somebody. I'm going to be who I am, and that's just how it is. Besides, I'm too tired. So, and by the way, before I leave, I am making a new channel strictly about music, because that's what I am. I was born into it. Every time something bad happened to me growing up, it was about music. I went in and did music I studied music. I listened to music. Everything was about music. That was my go-to to get away from all the bad things that have happened to me in life. That was a hard thing about moving to a small town in Texas when I was a teenager. There were no stations to listen to. I had to go to my old records and tapes and things like that because there was nothing. It made it difficult. But anyway, I'm starting a new channel strictly about music, so those of you that worship music, love music, and are everything into it, join it because it's coming very soon. Subscribe, like, and share. And I'm sorry this video took a long time, but if you have any questions, I'd be love to answer them. I apologize for the length, but it's just something I had to get out, and I hope I said it the right way. There are so many things I wanted to say, and now that I'm doing this video, it's gone. But all I had to do was I had to say to you that this person recently, I didn't run into them. Thank goodness for that. I don't know why I have this fear of running into them again. I'm too old to argue, and I'm not a kid anymore, and I don't really care what they think about me. I don't hate them. I don't know them. I don't really... so I don't know why it bothered me. But it did open a lot of doors and made me realize an epiphany, so to speak, of why so many things happened when I was younger, why I had to lie about myself. Do not, and one piece of advice before I gotta go, do not be someone else. Be yourself. Pull out for what's inside of you in your own heart and be that. Who cares what other people think? Somebody out there is going to be all for you. Somebody out there is going to like you for who you are. You've got many people out there that are going to have interest, the same interest you do, the same likes you do, and it's going to love you for everything that you have, and is going to like everything you do. Don't give up what you believe in. Don't give up something you love in life, and don't change yourself for someone to like you. Because that's what I did. I started to be somebody that I didn't like. And I've done it quite a few times, and I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I can't be that person. I can't be the person where I have to act macho and do one-night stands. I can't. I'm not that person. I'm not that person to the world. I can't live in this world. The world doesn't accept me. The world is evil. There are so many evil things in this world. I can't live in it like this. This world is evil. It doesn't like me, and I don't like it. I don't belong in it, and it doesn't belong in my life. I have a hard time living in this world because there are so many things out there I don't agree with, and there are so many things out there I can't be a part of. So it's tough to live in this world. So understand that. It's hard to live in this world when you're not the kind of person to be a part of that. I'm too good for it, and sometimes I'm not good enough for the religious, godly world. I am very spiritual on the inside, so to speak. I have seen a lot of things that deal with the spirit world outside of the bullying part. And we'll talk about that later on. We'll have a part 2 to this because this is a long video. But we're going to do a part 2. Yeah, let's do a part 2 and talk about that spirit world type bullying when it comes to this. And we'll do more of that. So thanks, everybody, for watching. And like, share, and subscribe. And... if that's what it's called. And I appreciate you listening, and I'm sorry I was rambling on, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, and get ready for part 2. We're going to do that. So thanks for watching, and see ya.